going to share with you as for the heart failure load in India goes. I must first listening to elegant sort of data from China. I must say that I think we don't have any radar estimate today, just because we don't have very large surveillance and prevalence studies in the country as yet. We have one study done last year. I'll share with you those findings. Knowing that we have a very huge population, we have now 1.2 billion population, the epidemiological and health transition, I think our incidence and the prevalence is going to be quite large in our country. As per the prevalence estimate, I think the rough estimate may be around 4.6 million population, and annual incidence may vary from 4,91,000 to about 1.8 million. But I think these are estimates based upon some kind of a sort of a disease disorder that we have, and probably looking at what can be the load of the heart failure. But I must also mention that now we have a double burden of the disease. We still have rheumatic valvular disease, and we are also now have epidemic of coronary heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, which are going to be increasing our load of the heart failure. 2 of the 5 Indians over 40 are hypertensive. We have a huge load of coronary heart disease, I'll come to it, cardiomyopathies and miscellaneous heart diseases, diabetes. I think we probably are dated as India is the capital of diabetes. So I think incidence of all these diseases is increasing, and India will soon, I think, have a maximum number of heart failure patients probably globally. If you look at the age, which you know that the heart failure goes with the age. Now we have about 1996 we have 62 million population of the age of 60, and in 2016 it's going to be about 113 million. So I think that shows that these factors will certainly sort of contribute to the large load that we are going to suffer. Coronary heart disease, we have 30 million people, and as Dr. Ramesh said, there is a road to heart failure, and I think around 2% patients per year of coronary heart disease may go into heart failure. Hypertension, it was 1.8 million in 2000, and we expect that more than 200 million population will be hypertensive. Diabetes, at the moment, is around 50 million, and I think in 2025 we are supposed we may be getting about 70 million diabetes. So I think all this will certainly create a huge load of heart failure with us. Rheumatic heart disease, though it is on the decline, but still is a major problem, and we have a 2.2 to 5.3 kind of prevalence in per thousand population in different region of the country. This was the data from my previous institution, where we tried to look at in 2006. Still in the outpatient, we had 40% of our patients with heart failure because of rheumatic heart disease. And in a hospital in CMC Vellore, which is in the south part of the country, another major institution, I think in 91, that was 40 to 50% admission of the hospital in the cardiology ward were because of the rheumatic valvular disease. There are a few other rare diseases which I will not but just mention to it, like restrictive cardiomyopathy and Takahashi artery. Some of the other rare causes that patient come with heart failure, and I think time will not permit me to go into more detail of this. This is just to look at in 49, the famous physician from Bombay, Professor Vakil. He looked at more than 1200 admissions, and what was seen that hypertension, coronary, even at that time, about 31% patients were having coronary artery disease or hypertension. Rheumatic was 29%, syphilis and pulmonary. So I think over the years the disease pattern has changed, and I'll share with you when I talk to you about the small study which has been done in one part of the country last year. This is just to share with the etiology of heart failure by age, and again if you look at the younger people, they are mostly valvular and the coronary artery disease is the one which, when you are above the age of 50 or so, it becomes the commonest cause of heart failure. This is a town in south part of the country, in Kerala, and is another important institute, Suchitra Institute in Trivandrum, where our colleagues tried to look at the clinical presentation, management and in-hospital outcome of patient admitted with the compensated heart failure in Trivandrum, and that's the capital of the state of Kerala. This was a study which was supported by the Indian Council of Medical Research, that is our medical research body which fund resources for carrying out research. And it covers all the hospitals in South India, Trivandrum area, as well as nearby rural areas in the 25-kilometer region as far as the draining population for the purpose of study. The urban population was around 7,45,000 and the rural population in this particular study which was addressed was around 4.5 lakh. The study was started in January 2013 and ended in December 2013. And all patients with heart failure, those who were readmitted, they were not counted second time. And about 1232 patients admitted, 27 readmitted to another hospital beyond this region, so they were excluded. There were 1200 patients for 1 year period. 69% were males and 31% were females in this particular group. If you look at that the male and female ratio, so 69 I think as compared to the USA, that study where there were almost similar, but I think there are more male in this study. Now there are various factors whether what is the reason for this change. Just to show you that R was 31% female, and if you compare to other studies from USA and Europe, probably Europe is close to our figure. Now that is the age group of the patient who had heart failure, and the mean age was 61 years. And when you compare this age group with the other studies, I think our patients were 10 years younger as compared to the European or the American population study which are available. If you look at the patients who were less than 65 years, 57% patient heart failure was less than 65%, and if you look at the USA data, only 29% below the age of 65 had heart failure, and mostly were above. Like above 80, our patients the number was sort of small. So I think it shows that maybe I think we also know that coronary heart disease occurs at a 10 years younger age in South Asians as compared to the Caucasian population or European population, and maybe I think that is the reason that we have a younger people age group as compared to the other part of the world. Now as the presentation goes, acute de novo heart failure around 40%, and those who came with acute and chronic heart failure about 60%, and that I think data was sort of nearing to what the Canadian registry. All the patients had echocardiography. BNP was also done in some cases. The expansion investigation is not a routinely done, and of course the serum creatinine level, the hemoglobin level average in this group was like this. And if you look at the etiology, ischemic etiology, 71% of the patients were suffering from coronary heart disease. So that shows it was much higher than the Europeans or even the American population studies. So I think the coronary heart disease is becoming now a major burden with us. And if you look at the sort of etiology of heart failure in this group, ischemic 71%, cardiomyopathy around 13%, non-rheumatic valvular was 2.5%, rheumatic valvular 8%, hypertension was less in this group. As far as this risk factor, hypertension about 58%, diabetes in 55%, smoking I think 69%, still I think smoking continues to be a major risk factor in our sort of some part of the country. Now atrial fibrillation strangely was seen in less number of cases in this group as compared to the studies from other part of the world, and that may be also related to whether we are dealing with the younger population. Though even this group also a rheumatic valvular disease where atrial fibrillation probably is more common. The mortality figures in the hospital stay was about more than other places, 8 days, and The mean duration was 8 days. The in-hospital mortality was around 8.4%, and females had a higher mortality as compared to the males in this group. The mortality figure again was higher with us as compared to the sort of studies available from other part of the developed world. As far as looking at the drug usage, I think 11% patients were on given inotropic sport. Diuretics were there in more than 94% of patients, and some patients vasodilated like nitrates and halogen or also was given in about 33% of the patients. If we look at the other drugs, ACE inhibitor, beta blockers, aldosterone, digoxin, now less used, diuretics, I think the beta blocker use and ACE inhibitor use again is now 50% of the patient, and I think that shows that probably still we need to look at it because most patients are still not getting benefit of these drugs. But at the time of discharge, if you look at the pattern of the drugs that the ACE inhibitors or beta blockers or diuretics, I think the sort of prescriptions were similar to what was, I think, if we compare with the other part of the studies. So if I had to summarize this observation, we have failure patients younger than by 10 years as compared to the European or American population. We have more CAD now. Very few patients with diastolic heart failure. I think it was only 3%. Now why so? This is, I think, rather be overlooking, but in this study we didn't find that in-hospital stay was longer, in-hospital mortality was higher, especially among females, and use of evidence-based therapy was not very different from, I think, at the time of discharge, what is seen in the other part of the world. I think because of the lack of information that we have and a huge challenge, we have now conceived a study in the country on the magnitude and pattern of causes of heart failure in India. This is again being supported by the Indian Council of Medical Research, and this institution in Bangalore, it's the cancer registry has been a good success in the country, and the same institute is now trying to undertake the activity to carry out this work in supervise this work in the country. And this study will be to estimate the magnitude of heart failure in India to each medium to small town. Each region of India we have a very sort of diverse places and different kind of, and to understand the pattern of cause of heart failure in India, to understand the pattern of care of heart failure among hospitalized patients. And the methodology adopted is a population-based approach to the multiple sources of collection for magnitude and hospital-based approach at a collaborating center for pattern of causes and care. We hope this study will give a clue about the pan-Indian scene of heart failure. Now, as far as when we come to the management, I'll also take a few minutes for that what is our the therapeutic helps available to these patients. Indian population, I think, do not show any difference in response to standard heart failure medication, and these drugs work as just well as in Indian patient. Doses may differ. We are not able to use like beta blocker in the doses which are mentioned. Our patients do not tolerate. ACE inhibitor also, we are not able to use the doses which are mentioned. Half of the doses usually, I think you can't really go, patient may go into low pressure kind of issue. Of course, our stress is affordability and accessibility is an issue because of the huge population that we have. Now looking at some of the other advanced therapies like assist devices for the heart failure patient, surgical option, cardiac transplantation programs, I think we have all these facilities available, those who can afford, because most patients have to pay from the out of the pocket, so it's very difficult. I think like we use CRT devices in only 5% of the patient, that probably may be that because of the huge cost. So I think less devices, patient factor, and of course the physician factor is also important. Heart failure patients in India are still treated by family physicians and medicine specialists. Many of them are still not aware about the newer devices therapy for these patients, and some are reluctant to refer these patients. So I think we need to address in our own culture to address to these issues. The devices, main thing is this, just to share with you that I think it was 2001 when the first assist device was implanted in the HeartMate 1. Patient lived for 2 years. He couldn't get transplant. We had an active transplant program in our center just because the donor was not there, and then it got thrombosed and died. So I think high cost, lack of expertise, and other issues. I think this device, the price many of our patients who need devices, they cannot afford. Just the heart transplant program also in the country was initiated in August 3rd August 1994 with the first transplant when the country passed the brain dead regulation. We didn't have before that the brain dead law is available, so that we couldn't do these kind of things earlier than that. So I think up till now around 200 transplants in different part of the region of the country has been done. But again we started first in Delhi, but north has not been able to do that much. But south, particularly Chennai and Hyderabad, that's mainly now what's these states have made a brain dead as a notified kind of a law, that any patient with brain dead has to be notified. This has encouraged in these states these kind of donor availability and the program for transplant. So I think I would like to summarize. We still don't have any large epidemiological or surveillance studies to know the exact burden in the country, but I shared with you the rough burden, and because of the double burden of disease that we have, we are going to face a huge load. And access and cost to care, these are the important challenges with us, because when you diagnose a patient, you must have the possibility to benefit him also. So that is another issue that we have, that if you pick a patient, the system must address to it that they will be given some kind of a therapeutic help, and of course we need to have more awareness, institutional preventives that prevent this particular epidemic in the country. Thank you so much, sir.